Hi everybody watching, welcome to Fight Club. This is a new channel about wine and drinks where the three of us, Seth, Mervyn and me, Isaac, will go head to head in different drinking games and talk cock about wine. This may also be our last episode if nobody watches. I also realized that I have not put on my mic, so give me a minute. Hi everybody watching, welcome to Fight Club. And our first ever special guest for today is Jack.
Hello.
She's our WSET2 wine teacher whom we tricked into being our judge. Today, she'll be tasting our wines blind. Me, Merv and Seth will also be trying to figure out each other's wines by grape, region and vintage to see who gets the most correct answers. First place for each game gets 2 points, second gets 1 point and last gets nothing. Jack, what got you into wine in the first place?
I used to work in banking and I thought it was a very good way to actually be able to read wine lists, and it's very useful for like business meetings. When I was with my previous private equity fund, I started a wine import distribution company. Today, I'm running my own tech platform. It's a wine tech platform that works with, well, basically B2B. And also I do a lot of wine marketing and PR.
Seth, how did you get into wine from being one of Singapore's top food bloggers?
I didn't. I was just drinking, and then you were like, oh, let's go for WSET2. I'm like, alright.
Mine's an interesting story because I used to like beer a lot until I got gout.
So wine doesn't give you gout?
Yeah.
Wine is better.
So wine is the only alcohol drink that I can take without getting gout. So I decided to go all into wine.
Yeah, and as for me, my friends started drinking wine, so I felt very paiseh. I knew nothing about wine, so I wanted to learn WSET2, and that's where I met Jack.
Yeah.
But today's theme is very interesting. We all know that Jack loves her Pinot Noirs, good quality wine. But the three of us, we wanted to, really spring a surprise on Jack by having a supermarket shootout. We all went to the supermarket to find what we felt was the best wine under $50. Can we really get something best under $50? Yeah, let's try our first wine.
Like first impression, it's quite a young wine. The nose is very aromatic. She smells pretty nice.
I think most of the wines will be young. If you're buying
for
from
$50,
$50, you can't.
how old is it gonna
Can't be
be?
very old. I hope I don't offend any producers.
But we will also be very, very honest with our audience because no one is watching right now.
So this is a wine I would say, has a lot of makeup on because it smells very aromatic. Yeah, on the nose, it kind of deceives you okay, it can be a very good wine. But when you taste it, all you're tasting is a lot of tannin. It's a very warm vintage of a very warm region, but the wine is not very well defined, so you don't get a lot of fruits. You can roughly tell, okay, you know what, it's some black fruits. But you cannot really name blackberry, is it black currant? So it's not a very well defined wine. And so that tells me okay, the quality of this grape is probably not that good. From the nose to the finish, the concentration has gone down. So it's very aromatic on the nose. The palate is still a little bit of concentration, but on the finish it's super short. The quality of the fruit is not there to carry the concentration from the nose all the way to the finish.
Let's just do the guess on grape and country.
Yeah, grape and country.
And this is Australian Shiraz.
I will call it a caps off because I felt it's a bit warmer climate. I'm going for South American. I'm going for Chilean.
Blackberries, somewhere warm. That tastes like a new world.
It's definitely newer.
Yeah.
The nose is actually very, very nice. It's very powerful, and if you're not drinking but you're just sniffing, this is great. Okay, let's get to wine 2.
Maybe should we explain also what are we doing when we are tasting? So what do we look for when we're trying to blind taste?
The first thing that we always do, you see a lot of people doing this when they are tasting wines, is because they are trying to look for the color and how deep the color is. So while it is not always that a very deeply colored wine is a full-bodied wine, it actually does give you a bit of indication. But really what we're looking for is the color. So a color like this, there's a little bit more purpley, tells you that it's a very young wine. By the way, the legs tells you nothing about the wine. So that's quite a common misconception.
It smells like mint to me for some reason.
It's
Like
very
fresh,
minty and
very mint.
licorice. I mean, this is still again very similar to the previous one, very much fruit-led and fruit-driven. So a very fruity wine, and like what Seth was saying, a lot of mint and licorice. Again, something from the new world.
It feels fruitier than the previous one.
The fruits taste sweeter.
Yeah.
And the acidity is not that high.
Yeah, the previous one had a bit more acid, so this one is probably warmer, more rounded.
Very tannic.
The tannic is a bit more as
And
well.
it's there,
yeah.
but it's more rounded. It's a bit more balanced.
The tannins are softer for this one, even though the tannin level is high.
Maybe it's a blend.
Possible. Possible.
My guess is a blend.
I'm gonna guess Argentina, Capsol Malbec.
I think this is mine, so I will refrain from guessing yet.
Okay, I'm making a guess partially because I know Isaac. I think it's something with Syrah. It's not pure Syrah. That's why you get the bit pepperish, licorice, but I think that's where the blend comes in with a bit of the Grenache.
GSM blend?
I'm thinking a GSM. I'm thinking Australia.
Personally, I think it's also a GSM type of blend. I will refrain from guessing yet.
How much will you pay for it?
Under 50.
You shouldn't pay more than like 70 bucks at a restaurant for this.
I would love this at a wedding.
Yeah, like the house rate for a wedding. I think it's pretty decent, man.
We are ready to move on to our third and final wine.
I have a quick question for Jack. So we're doing tasting, right? What's your take on like rinsing glasses?
So you should never rinse with water.
Who did that?
Why? Can I ask why?
The taste and the body of your next wine is going to be closer to the current wine than water. When you rinse it with water, you dilute the wine. So what you should actually do instead is you rinse it with the next wine.
Alright, so let's get on to our final wine for today, our final challenger.
This is the most aromatic so
Wow,
far.
very perfumey.
Ooh, this is great. It's a bit of cola, a bit of, I was going to say lipstick.
Yeah, it smells like lipstick.
It's very sweet, spicy, blackberries, black cherries.
It's a lot of cherries. So I like that this wine is actually, there's a lot of black fruits. And in this one has a lot more definition. The fruit profile, very, very well defined. Also points to a better quality fruit as well.
Could you just explain a little bit about definition?
So, you know, the first wine we could tell like, okay, it's like black fruits. But it was very hard to pinpoint what exactly the black fruits are. But with this wine, you can very clearly tell like, okay, there's a lot of black cherries in this.
It's more pronounced.
It's more defined. Pronounced intensity is about the concentration, but definition is about the how clearly you can tell what they are.
I think it's a Spanish wine. I think it feels a bit Rioja-y.
What is a Rioja supposed to taste like?
Rioja will have a bit more like meat and leather.
I think it's old world. Doesn't taste French as well. No, it's not.
Maybe it's something not that we have not studied yet.
You know what? I'm just gonna go with French.
I think I know the grape. It's probably like a Syrah or Shiraz, but it doesn't taste very much like an Australian Shiraz.
I think it's most likely mine because I did try my wine before
You try me wines before you buy.
What the hell? Mervyn is really dedicated to the game. He has actually done many rounds of tasting because he wants to win. He's the most competitive amongst us. Now we're going to do the review and Jack is going to give us the scores. Wine number one is
Or it's a screw cap.
it's a screw cap. It's Barossa Valley.
So a very classic region, Barossa Valley, very warm and one of the most classic region for Shiraz wines. Honestly, not the best.
Hey, $39.50, yeah?
Like for $40, it's really quite decent.
I mean, we wouldn't complain if this was a wedding house pour wine, right? This was
Wedding wine is pretty okay, no?
You shouldn't complain at any wedding.
So the second wine is none other than Australian Shiraz Mataro. It's kind of like a GSM. It's a Shiraz Mataro, and the M here, like Shiraz is Syrah, but in Australia they call it Shiraz, and Mourvedre is actually called Mataro. Lao Shi, can you give us some lesson?
Penfolds, one of the biggest wine company in the world. This is not too bad. For like what, $40?
Yeah, it was $42 on discount. I do like it because it's very dependable. I know what I'm getting all the time. So it's something I enjoy and I always get back to it.
Yeah, with big brands you get consistency.
Let's move on to our final wine. This one is the interesting one. I said it tasted like cola, a bit of green licorice. She said eucalyptus.
So I went with Syrah, interesting region, Italy.
Wow, interesting because you brought your own wine.
So it's actually a Syrah from Tuscany. Usually when you go Tuscany, you drink Sangiovese, Chianti wines, but this is special.
For Toscana IGT, they can use a lot of international varieties.
Yeah, they use anything.
Yeah, like Syrah, Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot.
What did you think about this wine and how would you then rate all the three wines?
Honestly, I thought it was a very good wine. Like the moment I tasted it, I feel like this wine has a lot of definition, a lot of depth to it. It's again a very warm vintage. I thought this was actually the best out of the three.
So this is actually the cheapest out of the three. It's $38. But another difference is I got it from NTUC, not CS.
Whoa, NTUC!
Where you can get an 8% discount at the Just Wine Club.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday.
Okay, so this is your best wine. Your second wine will be...
The pen.
Yes, Merv has 2 points for bringing the best wine and Seth should stick to food. Is supermarket wines worth it? Are there good value to be had?
Definitely you can find value in supermarket wines. If you really do visit NTUC or even CS Fresh, you do see wines ranging not just from the $30 price point, but all the way until 100 plus. There's always value in what you find for. When I was going for this challenge, my strategy was to go for regions where they're typically cheaper.
I think most people who go to supermarkets are like, not really looking for first growth in the first place, right?
Yeah.
So the challenge is really to find value for money wines. However, different supermarkets have different variety and selection of wines. And I appreciate a source that can actually tell me which are the good value wines in supermarkets. So that's
why we're doing this. I think supermarkets are also trying to up their wine game now. We can find some great value hidden around, and they're actually also trying to bring in some of the more fine wines as well. As supermarkets catch up with the consumers in Singapore, they're going to bring in better stuff, and it's our job to vote wisely and choose the better stuff.
I would usually not shop in a supermarket only because I would try not to buy wines that are in the $30 range. Because when you think about it, a wine that's in the $30 range, you're paying about $10, $15 for things like logistics, last mile delivery, import costs and GST. So most of what you're paying for is not actually for the wine, you're paying for everything else. But that said, like what Isaac has said, these days a lot of them actually have very good wines. If you know how to choose, like Mervyn, you can actually find very good quality ones.
I think if you have a good relationship with the distributor, like they recommend the wine as well, right? You go to NTUC or any supermarket, no one is recommending you anything.
Got auntie down there.
No lah, the auntie only give.
Thank you so much for joining us in our first ever episode. Please let us know what you want to see more of. Different hosts, different guests. Let us know your challenge ideas in the comments below, and we will try and get that to happen for you. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again. Cheers! Yay! Toot, 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 toot.